Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. As in our previous online class, we have discussed about the social conditions. In social condition, we have learned about the synthesis of the mixture of two cultures, the caste system, the ruling classes, the classes of warriors, and the some other classes. And today I will start with the topic the institution of marriage. Okay, so in social condition this topic is there, the institution of marriage. So the Tolkappiyam, written by the Tolkappiyar, states that marriage was an important religious ceremony. Okay, so what the Tolkappiyam book describes about the marriage, it was written by Tolkappiyar, and he describes that it is a religious ceremony. Okay, it is an important religious ceremony accompanied by many rituals. Many rituals means many customs were there during the time of the marriage. Naturally, the Aryan culture had now much impact on the institution of the marriage. So, as you have already know this thing that the Aryan culture has come to India, to the southern India, and they have brought their own culture, their system in India, and it has a great impact on the southern culture. So many customs and so many cultures are mixed up with the southern Indian culture and in the marriage system. Okay, in the marriage system the culture of the Aryans were there. Now earlier the Tamils had the relatively simple concept of marriage. Okay, earlier what was the concept of marriage? The concept of marriage was very simple. They regarded it as the natural coming together of men and women, mainly due to their physical differences. So they regarded it as the togetherness of man and woman, mainly their on the basis of the differences of their physical conditions. So, but during the time of the Tolkappiyar was the writer. So, in his book, it is written about the religious important ceremony which is affected by the Aryan customs and culture. So, the marriage was an important ceremony during the time of the Sangam age. Now, next is the position of the woman. The joint family system characterized the society. Although some women got good education, their status in society was not equal to that of men. Okay, some women got very good education, but some women not. So means there is no equality for the women in the society. They did not have the right to inherit property. So they did not have the right to inherit the property also. They were assisted also among the women following the Jain and the Buddhist tradition. The worship of Kanangi or Patni suggests that the vow of chastity was regarded as the greatest of the feminine virtues. It tells that according to the Jain and Buddhist tradition, the women were allowed. They were the ascetics in the Jain religion as well as in the Buddhist religion. After that, people worship the deity of Kanangi and the Patni. Why they worship these? Because they were suggested that the woman was the model of chastity, the vow of chastity, and it was regarded the greatest feminine virtues, that the character of the woman should be very strong, and it was praised by everyone. So they worship the woman as the Kanangi and the Patni. In fact, the images of the Patni Devi were being preserved and worshipped by Tamils in their temples until very recently. Means recently only the Tamils were worshipping the images of the Patni Devi. So it was considered as one deity in the temples for the people. So this was the position of the woman. They don't get right in the property, but they were considered as the deity in the temples. Now, religion and religious rituals. Religion and religious rituals. In the early centuries of the Christian era, the ruling class and the upper sections of the Tamil society has accepted Brahmanism. Okay, in the early centuries, in southern India, the people have accepted the Brahmanism. Brahmanism was from the Aryans. The kings used to perform the Vedic sacrifices. The Brahmin studied and chanted the Vedic hymns. There were disputations or public discussions on Vedanta and Vedic philosophy. What was there? There were disputations or public discussions. Okay, disputations means the discussions. They discuss on the public matters and they discuss on the Vedic hymns. The worship of Vishnu was gained in popularity. Okay, and worship of Vishnu gained popularity, but the chief deity of people of the hilly region was Murugan. So who was the chief deity of the hilly region? He was Murugan. Jainism was also flourished during the period along with the Buddhism. The two sects enjoyed royal patronage. So Jainism and Buddhism was also flourished in the southern India, and they received the royal patronage, they received the royal support. Dead bodies had begun to be cremated, although the megalithic practice for the disposal of the body continued. Means both the cremation of the body, dead body was also done, and the megalithic practice means keeping the body in the megalithic tombs with the articles and the things. It was also continued during the time of the Sangam age. So this was the religion and the religious rituals. Now we will see the economic conditions. The Sangam literature gives a complete and true picture of the economic conditions as well. So the first is the agriculture. Agriculture was the main occupation of a large section of the people. Land was held by individuals as well as by the state. Okay, so land was under the control of the individuals as well as under the state or the king. The land was fertile and there was plenty of grains, meat and fish. The Chola country was watered by the river Kaveri. Which river was used for water the Chola dynasty or the Chola kingdom? It was Kaveri river. About this country there was a saying that the space in which an elephant did lie down produced enough grain to feed 7 persons. Okay, and this was saying that the agriculture was so flourished that even the 7 elephants were able to feed. Now, the Chera region was well known for its buffaloes, jackfruits, pepper and turmeric. So these were the eatable things. These were grown in the Chera dynasty or Chera region. The rich did not plough the land themselves. They hired laborers called the pariahs for this job. The pariahs traded in animal skins which were used as mats. Okay, they traded the animal skins also. Pariahs who were ploughing the land. Traded in animal skins which were used as the mats. Now the next topic is the trade. In the trade, the rulers had big income from the trade transactions also. A large number of crafts and occupation are referred to in the Sangam literature. The epic Mani Mekalai was written by a grain merchant of Madurai. So it shows us that the epic Mani Mekalai was written by the grain merchant. So the merchants are regular to the southern India. The Tamil literature refers to items of trade like the spices, sandalwood, pearls, sea products, semi-precious stones and textiles of the various types. Now we also have to information that foreigners means Yavanas, okay, Yavanas visited the coastal towns for trade, means foreigners also come to southern India for trading. And what trading they used to do? They brought metal lamps in different shapes and bottles of the wine. Figures prominently among the articles of trade brought to India by the foreigners. So which things were brought by the foreigners to India or to southern India? That was metal lamps and the bottle of wine figure. Other trading, many Roman traders resided in the South India in those days. Okay, in those days many Roman traders resided there. The ports of the Nora means Canori or Nelsenda means Scotium. Okay, so the ports of the Nora, Canori and the Nelsenda means Scotium were among the most prominent ports in India's western coast. Okay, in India's western coast. The westerners were very much fond of Indian pepper. So what was very famous in the western coast? Means through west they had a good trading relations, and the western people like the Indian pepper the most. Therefore began to be called the Yavan Priya. So what is the name of the pepper? Yavan Priya in Sanskrit. Roman coins of gold and silver found in the southern peninsula. So what coins were found? The Roman coins were found in the gold and silver coins of Rome were found in the southern peninsula. Suggests that Indo-Roman trade brought great gains to Indian merchants. Okay. It describes about the trading relationships between the India and the Rome. And it also describes that great grains were brought to India by the merchants of the Rome. Now other occupations you will see among other prominent occupations mentioned may be made of spinning and weaving, metalwork, ornament making and ivory being used for making carved ornaments and other objects. Okay, so what are the things? I am repeating: spinning and weaving, metalwork, ornament making and ivory being used for making carved ornaments and other objects. Then Uriyar was a large center of cloth that were made of cotton. So what is the large center of cloth? That were made of cotton. According to some poets, the cotton dresses was so smooth and shiny that it looks as if made of a snake skin. Okay, it is a comparison of a cotton cloth with the snake skin because of its shining and soft material. Shipbuilding was another prominent occupation that provided livelihood to many artisans. Okay, so shipbuilding was another important occupation. Now, occupational guild. What is this occupational guild? Guild had become an important institution in the economy of the Sangam age. Okay, it is an important economy of the Sangam age. The guild defined rules of work and controlled the quality and prices of the finished products. Okay, guild is a group of the people, right? And they used to see the quality and the prices of the finished products. The guild also functioned as the bankers and financiers. Means whenever any person wants a financial support for starting any business, so they can take the money from the guild. Guilds also carried out welfare activities and services of many kinds. In each village and town, people following various occupations lived largely apart from one another, although in fairly close proximity. Okay, fairly proximity means they used to do the fair work with each other. Okay, in each village and town, people from different occupation live together and they help each other in a fair manner. Now, the next and the last point is socio-economic inequality. We see sharp socio-economic inequality in the age of the Sangam. The rich lived in houses made of bricks and mortar. Mortar is a kind of a material, okay? Whereas the poor in small mud walled huts. So this is the one difference. Rich lives in the brick houses and the poor lives in the mud houses. Then the Sangam poets gave description of the hunters' huts full of bows and shields. So hunters' huts were full of bows and shields, and spearheads houses whereas curds and butter were produced for sale. They also described the living condition of the learned Brahmins, okay, and the rich merchants. They also described the living conditions. The Brahmin conditions were very good as they lead a very luxurious life. They lead very luxurious life and they had a special position, special support by the king and special position in the society. And the rich merchants also means the nobles. We notice the splendor of the large grand buildings which belong to the kings and the members of the ruling class. The royal priest also lived in the grand structure. So this is the difference between the poor and the rich, between the Brahmins and the common people. The Brahmins lead a comfortable life and the poor people lead a hard life. The priest lives in a grand structure. The king and the nobles or the ruling classes, they live in a grand structure, grand buildings, but the poor lives in a huts made of mud. So this is the difference between the rich people and the poor people during the time of the Sangam age. So now this chapter is completed. I have given you the assignment 6 regarding to this video. Please complete the assignment properly, carefully, and learn the chapters, read the chapters for your online test. Prepare yourself thoroughly and don't wait for the last moment. Complete the project also, and please listen and see the video carefully and be present for the videos as well as for your virtual classes. Thank you. Take care and have a great day.